Stream is live.
The intro. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 2 of the Geekdom 101 Super Magic Show. As you can see by my background, I am not in my regular studio. In case you've been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, Florida was hit with a Category 5 hurricane. And as a result of that, I've got no power in my home. So I've been recording all my videos here in my friend's house. I'm actually in my friend's kid's room right now. And I haven't been able to do these at all because there's 3 kids in this house. One of them is asleep and 2 of them are outside playing. So I finally got some free time to do episode 2 of the Super Magic Show. So again, I'm not in my regular office. Hopefully you will understand I am safe. My home is safe, but I don't have any power. So I wasn't even able to do this show. I've got Kenji Meets Coffee right over here, and he was always planned to be my second guest. But what happened was, because of the hurricane, I wasn't going to even do this show originally. But thankfully, he's available. Thank you so much, Kenji, bro. You have no idea.
It's absolutely no matter to me, bro. I'm so happy to be here and to help you out on the show and stuff. And I'm, most importantly, I'm just glad you're safe,
Yes. No, I appreciate that, man. So this show is going to be a weekly live show every Sunday or Monday. However, I might not get my power back until the 17th or maybe even the 23rd, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but my neighbor was told that. This coming week, I hope. And I've got a lot of videos that I'm going to drop for y'all. I've got videos about the Easter eggs of Daima. Talk about Dr. Arinsu. There's so much to discuss. But first of all, this stream is going to be me and Kenji here talking about the episode, what we expect, and of course, we're taking your questions and your super chats if you would be willing to donate them. It's a tough time right now for people in Florida, so anything you can do to help us out would be great. Thankfully, all of my friends are okay. They're safe. I check with them. A couple of them do not have cell service, so I don't know if they're okay, but hopefully during the week I will, and that's how things are going. So first of all, Kenji, how are you doing all the way across the Atlantic?
Bro, it feels completely unfair for me to say right now, but obviously I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good from across the pond. I just hope that you and everybody else over your side are doing good too. Obviously, there's only as good as you can do. It's everybody, as you were saying earlier, you're a survivor, bro, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, man, you got to survive, man. That's to everybody in the chat. Listen, if you're going through something in life, whether it be depression, whether it be a breakup, whether it be a natural disaster, my dad used to always tell me that God will squeeze, but he won't. I forgot. It makes more sense in Spanish, but God will squeeze, but he won't kill. Of course, that doesn't apply to everyone, but the point of the message is, if you're struggling, you can overcome. We can rebuild. And luckily for me, my home was okay, no damage done. Some people's cars were completely flooded out. I could show you some images on Instagram and some videos, Kenji, later that'll freaking blow your mind. So
I'm sure, bro.
First of all, let's talk about Daima, brothers. That's why we're here. So what did you think about this first, and what were your initial impressions as an artist, but also as a fan of Dragon Ball for many, many years? What did you think about this first episode?
There were so many good things that happened in this episode, bro. I was sat there. I had my wife with me, my kids with me, and I've got a little autistic lad, and he doesn't really chime into a lot of stuff. But as soon as the colors started flashing on the screen and it just moved so fluidly, it just had his attention from the go. And, that is priceless, because, that'll be that way for him. It'll be that way for other kids as well. And I think one of the things that really caught my attention with it was obviously just even the opening. It was like a cold open, you know what I mean? There was no theme that led into it. It was just a cold open. And it was just so just capturing, like you could just see that there was money put into this thing. And that was just such a relief to see as somebody who like pays attention to the art. It just means so much. And then when you compare it to, let's say, the opening episode of Super, which had Goten and Trunks flying around to get a jar of water to fight a giant snake for Videl, there was a big difference here. What did you think, man?
Well, I like that with this episode that you don't even see, like, outside of the flashbacks. If you guys know, you don't even see the Z group, the Dragon team, until 20 minutes into the show. Also, I want to let everybody know, if there's internet problems, again, this is not my home connection. I'm at somebody else's house. Please be patient with us, okay? If it goes bad, I'm doing the best I can. But what I was going to say was, we didn't even see the Dragon team until like 20 minutes into the episode. Like, we spent a lot of time with Goma, with Degasu, and with Dr. Arinsu. Now, again, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but man, people who thought that I was a fraud, don't you look stupid? In July, I told you it was going to be the Demon Realm. I told you I said Erisu, but it was Arinsu. That's the same character. We talked about Degasu in the community tab and on Twitter. And you can already tell that Dr. Arinsu is fake, and she's telling Goma what he wants to hear. You can tell she has sinister motives. So what were your initial impressions, Kanji, on the villains that they introduced? I do want to say that the designs were so just awesomely Toriyama.
Yeah.
There's nobody like him.
100%, man. I mean, like, as soon as those villains came onto the screen, there is something so different about Toriyama when he's having fun with designs. So I'm not talking about, like, some of the Nakatsuru designs that we saw in GT, where they look very they look like they're just ready for a fight. A lot of Toriyama's characters don't necessarily look like they're ready for a fight. They look like they're ready to have fun, and then they have fight as a sort of consequence of the story. Whereas obviously with Goma from the beginning, you don't look at him, he's not intimidating. He's not being written to be intimidating. He's sort of like being second guessed by everything. Every time he's getting excited about something, like, oh, what, booze there or whatever like that. Oh, well, I can't do anything about that. Obviously, it takes him down a peg. And that kind of sets up this, this sort of unstable view of what their dynamic is going to be like. And the banter between the three of them, priceless. That's just classic good Toriyama stuff.
Toriyama scripting, classic Toriyama. And then Goma doing the whole, you smell bad, take a shower. That's pure. I'm surprised we didn't get a fart. We didn't even get a fart, bro. I'm shocked at that. Yeah. Early days yet, bro.
We will get a fart.
I hope so. So those of you coming in a little bit late, welcome. I'm not in my home studio. We're still recovering from Hurricane Milton. I did survive. So I'm recording here at a friend's house in his kid's room. That's why you see this, and that's why there's this is here, bro. Can you see? Can't you take a look at the screen for a minute? I got this here. That's like the kid's room, bro. But they're in the other house, whatever. So I want to address a question here real quick that was sent to us, right? I got a couple. Now, once again, super chat questions get priority. Francisco Guardado says, do you think the old Namek from the Demon Realm would get a wish similar to King Piccolo to be also young, back to his prime? What would the other two wishes be for? Okay, I do not think that, and I'll tell you why. He created the demonic Dragon Balls that the Tamagami protect. If he wanted to wish himself young, he would have already done it. I think that he's just an old guy who's probably crotchety and doesn't care about being young or have any aspirations to be a world domination. Kanji, what did you think about the Tamagamis?
Well, that was interesting because we didn't see too much about them just yet. What is interesting, obviously, is the fact that they really hammered home the fact that that Keva, or Keba, however it was pronounced, they did hammer home the fact that he's senile, and they were poking a lot of fun at that.
Never.
I think they said that his name was. I think they said his name was Keva in the subtitles on Crunchyroll.
Never.
Fair enough.
Never.
But they were trying to hammer home the fact that he was senile, and they were making a lot of jokes about that. And so, to me, the fact that obviously he's constructed these Dragon Balls, constructed the guards. I'm guessing that was what was implied to obviously take care of the Dragon Balls. There's a lot of potential lore to dig into there. I'm really looking forward to more lore that was dropped in the show a little bit later on into the episode, which I'm hoping you'll ask at some point about the pointy ears stuff. That was a big one. I was sat with my family.
I've got a little... No, go ahead. There's some lag, Kenji, by the way. We have some lag.
Well, aside from obviously where you are and everything like that, there's also the pond to deal with between us. So, but with my wife and kids, like they were sat there, they were engaged with it all, they were enjoying it. And then they mentioned the thing about the pointy ears, and I literally sat up and went, no. And they thought they were watching a different show. Like, they weren't quite clocking onto why that was so big. Like, but I'm so excited to see where they go with that, because it's sure, it's thrown away, but it could go so many more places with that. It could have just been a throwaway line, but it may come back around. And the fact it was mentioned in the first episode says to me it's going to play into more stuff in this show.
That is new lore. The pointy ears thing is not something that we knew about prior to this show. However, I am going to say this. I have a little tidbit here that may be considered a spoiler. So cover your ears for about 10 seconds if you don't want to be spoiled, okay? Here we go. Somebody is going to have a spell put on them. One of the main characters' ears will go from rounded to pointy. That's just in the demon realm. Coming up, mark my words, you will see it. Kanji, did that come through okay with no buffering or anything?
No buffering. That came through all right. You got me on the edge of my seat now, bro. The edge of my office chair.
I'll tell you later. I will tell you later what's going on off air. So KTP said, we know there will be 2 teams in Daima, and there's 3 realms in the demon realm. So can we say Goku will go to 1, Vegeta will go to 1, and the third one will go for Gohan, his adventures alone? I don't know anything about Gohan. I really don't. I swear to God, I'm not BSing you guys. The only thing I know is that one of the other leakers told me that Gohan is involved in one of the fights. That's all I know. I swear to you, I have asked everyone I know. Nobody seems to know about Gohan. They're keeping that a secret. I don't know why, guys. I wish I could tell you. I really do wish I could tell you. Let me get to a couple super chats that came through. First of all, Robert Wolf. Demon God Demigra nearly takes over Universe 7 twice. Goma has to reduce the Z fighters to kids to be a threat. Robert Wolf, you're talking about a video game, though. Video game storylines can do anything. Like, yeah, have to remember, Robert, in video games, they gave King Vegeta the Time Breaker's mask, and he was equal to Beerus in power. Okay, so if you think Daima has weird lore, Heroes, Xenoverse, and Online has even crazier lore than that. So it makes sense for Demigra to be that strong. Also, before you say anything, if you guys are wondering if if Arinsu is like Toriyama's version of Toa, it's pretty close. Like you can see the resemblance here. Xavier says, I like that Daima ignored the retcon of the Potara earrings being 1 hour fusion for non-Kais and that Vegito unfused because of it being inside Buhan. It didn't ignore it. There are 2 different ways to unfuse Potara. The 1 hour time limit for mortals and 3 ways. I'm sorry. Inside of Majin Buu and the Dragon Ball wishes. What we do not know is how they got refused again. That we don't know. And I think by the end of Daima, we'll find out. There's a lot of theories out there that people have that this takes place in an alternate timeline. That is not what I've been told. That is not what I've been told. If it does, if this is a separate continuity from Super, I wasn't told that. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I wasn't told that. Now, Kanji, specifically, I want to get your on the reanimated scenes from Dragon Ball Z, all the Buu Saga stuff. Like, that was Kubota. Same thing he did for Superhero. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Well, what do you think? I'll shut up. What do you think?
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball is one of these shows where you can sit back and you can watch them show you the same thing that they've shown you before. And if it has slightly new animation, you're going to watch it and you're going to pay attention to it. Now, this wasn't, we've been lowballed on a lot of reanimated scenes, whether it be when we had the flashbacks to Future Trunks from when he was a kid and he was obviously dealing with the grief of losing Gohan. And they did that slightly poorly animated retelling of that one in comparison to the History of Trunks special. This was not that. This was, as you say, as good as the start of Dragon Ball Super Superheroes intro that was obviously done by Shikashi Kubota. And this was just, it was just a treat to the eyeballs, man. Like, to any Dragon Ball fans who had been really, really upset by the quality of the animation in Super, this was just like drinking that fresh drink after a long walk in a desert, man. This was so good. And I don't know, man.
Can you imagine if Super looked like that?
Oh, don't tease me, bro. Like, honestly, I loved Shintani's lead and supervision in Dragon Ball Super Broly. I loved all of that art style.
Me too. Loved it.
And I have to say that when I heard afterwards that, it might not be, because obviously Shintani is working on this show. But when I heard that he wouldn't necessarily be at the helm of the actual focus of the designs, and it was going to be Nakatsuru, I was like, okay, all right, well, Nakatsuru is wicked. Let's just, we'll go along with that. And then to have Kubota just doing all this stuff is it just is wonderful to watch. It's just so good. I would have been, if somebody said to me, we're going to redo Super, we're going to follow the manga, and then we're going to animate that. Obviously, not always in the manga, because some things were better in the anime. But we're going to animate it completely in this art style. I would still sit down and watch that for the next how many weeks until they've figured out exactly what they're doing with the future of Dragon Ball,
Well, I said it in my review. If the time comes for them to ever readapt Dragon Ball, like from scratch, after Nozawa passes away, they have a bunch of new voice actors, a bunch of new people. I would like it to look like that. And I'm talking about if you take the Dragon Ball manga and you redo it with no filler. I'm not talking about Kai. I mean everything. Dragon Ball and Z done all over again from scratch. Kubota's the guy. And some people think it'll happen in 10 years in the 50th anniversary. I'm not so sure about that, but it is a legendary series. And many of you go ahead.
I was just about to say, a shameless plug. I did actually do a video talking about that probably about 7 months ago or so. And I touched on a lot of the things you said there. But literally bouncing off one of the things you said during that, there was a tweet that went around and it was circulating the internet the other day that apparently Masako Nozawa has signed her voice up for AI usage and stuff in future. There was a bit of
but not for anime though. But not for anime though.
That's it. That's exactly what I wanted to mention, because a lot of people didn't read the article. They just read the tweet. And so they were like, oh, well, AI is going to take over now and everything. I'm like, no. You haven't read what it said. It's specifically like these Japanese voice actors are so respectful to their craft. They will not take future jobs away from other people for lack of a better term, corpse to finish the job. They're not going to do that. They're going to pave the way and pay it forward for everybody else. So I just wanted to clear that up because you mentioned that, and I was like, this needs to be mentioned because we don't want the spread of misinformation there.
Right, and I may do a video about that very thing or mention it in my next Daima review. Okay, next super chat here is from Robert Wolf. Great.
There may have been a bit of a stream issue here. I don't know if you guys can still hear me because obviously I'm being fed through Danny.
Kenji, can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. You went dead radio silent for a little bit.
It's the terrible internet. I'm sorry. Let me finish my point.
It was just from the beginning of the super chat that it went off.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Again, I'm not home. My home has no power. Please have patience with me because people tend to be assholes about this. Not my audience, but I see it. I'm at someone else's house. I wasn't even going to do this show today, but I'm doing it because I wanted to talk about Daima so bad with Kenji as an artist and as a fan. So Robert Wolf says, great animation, bad story. Toriyama dropped the ball. Like I was saying, I respect your opinion. You can't say the story's bad. However, my question to you is, was episode 1 to you so bad that you're not going to watch, or are you still interested in seeing where it goes? Because I still want to see where it goes. I'm not a fan of the little kids thing. I'm not a fan of that. I would have actually done something different. Kenji, what if Goma, instead of wishing for them to be kids again, wished for them to no longer be able to access energy and just use their hands and feet? Can you imagine that instead of them being kids again? That would be a whole different can of worms. What do you think?
I think it would be really good because it would really bring it back to the martial arts roots of the show. And we knew that Toriyama obviously liked wrestling and everything like that as well. So there would have been, well, at least a long time ago. Who's to say if he liked the head of the table stuff? But we would have known that we would have seen quite a lot of it come back to that sort of element. And there'd have probably, been maybe another tournament or something. Who knows if they do another tournament of power? Who knows if they'd do something like that? They banned flying last time.
Right. Also, I have head of the table under my name right here. You could write something under your name, bro, right there.
After we tested the stream, I was going to go back to it, and I was like, oh, I've messed it up now. So
that's okay. Next one here is from Xavier. Don't you unfuse if the Potara earrings are destroyed? When Goku did the Kamehameha on Kefla, I always assumed they unfused because Goku hit him with too much power. I know the Potara's broke, but I always thought it was just too much power. Kenji, do you disagree or do you think he's onto something? Because I don't remember ever hearing that if Potara breaks, it actually breaks the fusion.
No, in fact, there is a moment when Kibito Kai, he takes off his Potara earrings and offers Goku and Vegeta them before they fight Kid Buu, and they say no, he's no longer fused anymore, so we're not going to do that. Which would imply to me if they came off, they would diffuse. I don't think there's anything to because that implies that they would still work again. So to me, they trigger the fusion, but there's nothing more to them than that. If they would do the same thing again afterwards, I don't believe there's anything stored in them or anything to keep them fused together or separate them. I would put it to the case that maybe Kefla diffused because she was eliminated from the Tournament of Power, and when maybe the strange energy that they had there or something did it, and it acted in a similar way to the Buu gas. Again, this is headcanon, but
yeah, I don't. That's what I always thought. But don't you think if the Poltaras being destroyed triggers a defusion, that's almost too easy, right?
Yeah, because it
You know
completely
what I
does
mean?
away with the permanent side of things as well.
Right, right. Now, Victor Perez, first of all, welcome back, Victor. Nice to see you again. A couple weeks ago, or about 3 weeks ago, when I broke that Nadolny was coming back, he tags her and goes, "Is this true?" First of all, motherfucker, you can't tag an actor and ask them if it's true if they're under a non-disclosure agreement. That's number one. Number two, did you forget who I was, bro? Y'all must have forgot. I was the OG leaker. I was the first motherfucker to give y'all inside information on YouTube that was actually accurate. The first one, bro, the alpha and the omega of the damn internet Dragon Ball community inside information. So I say that jokingly because I don't really see myself as some big shot. But Victor, you should know better, bro. Let me get to his super chat. He wrote, "Hey, Danny, did Neva traveled outside the demon world in the past and found out about Super Dragon Balls and carved parts out of them and returned back to the demon world? And then he created the demon world DBs from the carved parts." That's actually a great question. We currently do not know the full backstory of Neva, but the way that I think it went, this is just my guess, and Kenji, I want to get yours here in a minute, is the Namekians probably already knew of the Super Dragon Balls, figured out how to carve them out to make the other Dragon Balls, and Neva probably just knew how to create Dragon Balls. When the Namekians left the demon realm to go to planet Namek, when they migrated the civilization out, he stayed behind and he made the Dragon Balls. That's my guess. I don't have a straight answer for you. The only thing that we know for sure is that the Namekians left the demon realm to go to the mortal world at some point in the distant past, and that is new canon that was teased before, but now Toriyama gave us good stuff. Kenji, what do you think about what he said and Neva creating these demonic Dragon Balls?
Yeah, I actually agree with what you were saying. One of my points that I was getting ready to say in case you didn't was that because it was implied and they dropped the law that anybody with pointy ears came from the demon realm, it says to me that they started there and then moved out of it. I would assume that they're probably just going to say that never stayed there. I am not going to assume that he left and came back because they made it sound like it was a difficult thing to do to leave the demon realm, although they didn't have much trouble with it in the show. But that was part of the gag, you know. So I got to say that I don't think. Yeah, that seems to have the same face as Goma. But yeah, no, I'd say that it was probably a good chance that he just stayed behind and he hasn't actually been to the outside world yet until now.
Yeah, and also the other thing too is, and this is the question, and I want to get everybody in the chat to kind of give me their thoughts. For real, do you think that he voluntarily stayed in the demon realm, or do you think that the Namekian said, "Fuck this guy, he's an asshole, he's got sinister motives, we're gonna leave without him"? What do you think? Let me know in the chat right now. Gondorian Saiyan 31, that's Bonja Ranger. Hey guys, good show. Glad you're okay. Hope everyone enjoyed Daima episode 1. I know I did. Yeah, he's also in Florida, Gondorian saying, and a lot of us got hit. Guys, I'm good, but a lot of people got hit hard, man. I am blessed, but there were some that didn't. I want to address this. Killmonger 509. They imply Popo's a demon. Well, he's from the demon realm, and if you look at my leaks video, I'm not going to go over it here in case you don't want spoilers, but if you watch the leak video I did, that was so controversial. Oh, Geekdom, you're disrespecting Toriyama by revealing 5 character designs. Whoop-de-doo. Imagine me disrespecting Toriyama, bro. I'm the one YouTuber that's always praising Toriyama. I'm the one that talks about the man more than anybody, but no, I'm disrespecting him. Okay, that's fine. Get gaslit by these assholes. Yes, remember, the demon realm is not all bad people. So there's good people in the demon realm. Glorio is one of them. There's all kinds of different civilizations, and they're not all bad. So don't forget that. Don't forget it. Victor with a follow-up says, "Bro, you're thinking of Killafo. I'm Victor Manuel Perez on Twitter." No, I'm thinking about you, bro. I'm thinking about you on Facebook. I saw you do that. I'm not thinking about the other Victor. I'm thinking about, I seen you tag Nadolny. Victor Manuel Perez, that's you, bro. Come on. I'm just playing with you, bro. Don't get mad. I'm just playing with you. But it is you, bro. Come on now. All right, next super chat. Lilo Yo-Yo says, is there one demon world or several demon worlds? The portal have access to different universes, so curious to know your thoughts. Okay, I have to make a video about this, Kanji, but let me explain what I think. Originally, before Toriyama came up with the 12 universes, he came up with the demon realm and said the demon realm is in the Maikai, which is underneath the universe. So here's the universe. The demon realm is down here. This looks like I'm doing something else, but we'll keep that between us.
You're channeling your inner
Now,
Shawn Michaels there, bro.
You picked up on it. You picked up. I can't believe you figured out. Of course, you're a fan, so yeah, you're a mark like I am. So
yeah, absolutely, bro.
Right. So okay, so originally, but you're right. It appears like the demon realm has either been retconned or is able to access any of the 12 universes. However, that little portal area they went to, for all we know, every realm can access it. You just have to find a way in. It's kind of like how Black Frieza found a way into the room of spirit and time from another entryway. So I think the way it's going to work, and this is just a theory, is that there's going to be sort of like a back door set up to where gods and special beings can access different realms through that back door. So what do you think, Kanji, man? That was one of the more interesting lore bits of Daima. That was definitely something new.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see that. They also had to specify exactly where they wanted to go. And that sort of defined the door that they went through. So to me, it kind of looked like maybe the actual door, what's on the other side of it, isn't defined until they actually say where they want to go, and then it just happens to be whichever one they pass through. Maybe the big fish thing is the one that actually decides what's on the other side. Because otherwise, I don't understand why they would need to talk to him other than just to get given permission to go. I mean, you just blast past him, surely. So it seems like maybe this fish does more than just go, yeah, go on then. But also, I thought
almost like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, and I thought what was interesting is maybe this is a reach, I don't know, but the actual design of the inside of the ball that they were in reminded me of, when in Star Wars Episode 5, when Darth Vader, sorry, spoilers, when Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand.
Spoilers for a movie that came out in 1980.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But then Luke is dropping down into the chasm of where they are. And
there's those little doors everywhere.
You got it. That's what I was implying. I think it felt reminiscent of that to me.
Can you hear that dog?
I can, yeah, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Nah, but it's all good. It's
I don't know what. That's not, again, I'm not in my home, bro. People have to understand that. I wasn't even going to stream today, but there was kids were asleep, and the other kids are playing next door because I'm at my friend's house. And I was like, it's quiet. Let me see if Kenji's around. And lucky enough, he was. So here we are. Let me get this next one. I ain't got no life, bro. I ain't got no life. That's not true. You have a family as well. Dan Tavian Harvey, is there a chance we see new fusion? Yes, there is. Because remember, the Supreme Kai is going down into the demon realm with Potarazon. Therefore, there could be a chance that we see like maybe a Chibi Vegito or something else. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see. But yes, that is
I hadn't even
for sure
Chibi
a chance.
Vegito.
Lucky Luke says we can't be certain that Daima considers Super. It might reuse some elements of Super like Universe 7, but with a different interpretation. Yeah, but Toriyama wrote the manuscript for Super and he wrote Daima. So unless he's going to contradict himself, which he has done. Listen, if you guys are gonna say, well, Toriyama forgot, that's possible. I mean, I don't know. But as far as I know, that's not the case. As far as I know, that's not the case. We'll find out by the end of Daima. Just let's be patient.
I think that based on the fact that there's so much surrounding and such a big team around Toriyama now, back when people would say, "Oh, Toriyama forgot," he was mostly just giving answers in interviews and in the back of the Shenlong Times.
That's
and
right.
Stuff. He's
You're right
actually
about that.
writing stuff now, and I think that somebody would pick him up on it.
Well, unless they're too scared. But I do know that the way Super worked is that Toriyama wrote a manuscript, sent it to Toei and to Toyotaro, and then they went in and made alterations. Toriyama didn't approve everything. So the defusion of Supreme Kai and Kibito may have been something that Toei came up with. I don't know. I don't think so, though. With Daima, he submitted a manuscript. Then the Toei writers wrote a script for the episode, emailed it back to Toriyama. Toriyama made sure it was good, made changes, sent it back. So this show is the most involved Toriyama has ever been with an anime. He wasn't that involved in Dragon Ball or Z or GT or Super. He was writing the original manga at that time. Not for Super, but you get my point.
Yeah.
So next one here, Anderson Blitz says, I already love Degasu, want to cosplay as him in 2025. Yeah, Degasu's got some sinister motives. And if you're wondering why he doesn't have Potara, remember, Potara are a god artifact. He's not a god. He's a demon, even though he is the same race as Kaioshin. If you want to learn more about this, check out my Cosmology Guide Demons Omnibus video I dropped a few weeks ago. That goes into the Kaioshin and all the stuff Toriyama already said. Kenji, what were you going to say?
Nothing. I keep reading ahead with the super chats that are coming, and it's making me laugh because I'm looking forward to when we get there.
Okay. Next one. John Myers. Is Emperor Pilaf a demon for having pointy ears? Maybe. We don't know anything about his origin. Yeah, you got to understand, it could also be a thing where, like, maybe his great-great-great-grandparents are from the demon realm, and then they came to Earth. It's not that he was in the demon realm. It could be that there were other demons. That whole pointy ears thing is fucking with me, bro, because remember, Moro and the Heaters had pointy ears and blue skin. So are they demons?
It's hard to say, and that's what's great about this, bro, because it's literally, I mean, yes, law-breaking stuff can be very but it can also just be really fun because it just expands everything, and then you have to think of new theories, and that's what YouTubers thrive on, bro.
Right, and I am going to do some theory craft streams when I get my power back, and I'll invite people on to, like, talk about shit with me. I will say this, though. If you have questions about Daima, don't forget, we've only seen episode 1. This is going to be going on. This show, as far as I know, is going to be going until sometime in April. It's not as long as Super. So because of that, we will have answers. And all the scripts have already been written. So that's something to look forward to. Robert Wolf said, Toriyama ironically had the exact same issue as George Lucas. They both needed people to balance their ideas out with Daima. Well, I think every great creator, Robert, runs into this. And Robert, here's what I love about you. I said the same shit years ago. Not with Daima, with Resurrection F. George Lucas and Toriyama, I think their primes were when they were younger. Now we have an older Toriyama and an older George Lucas. Lucas went through a divorce. Lucas adopted more kids. Toriyama had 2 kids. Lucas got older. And so I'm not disrespecting Toriyama by saying that his primes when he was young, because it's the same thing for Lucas. But his prime already passed. But he's still a very creative artist. Look at all the shit we got in episode 1. The fish, the throne. What is this, like, third eye? Like, Kenji, what do you think about the fucking third eye thing?
You know that it's a setup for a joke for when they meet Ten Shinhan, don't you? It's coming, bro.
Is he going to be from the demon realm too?
I bet you it could even be, and this is a really obscure reference now. I bet you this could even be. Do you remember in the credits for the Funimation dub of the episodes where Goku goes to Otherworld, they credit Tien's mom because there's a woman sitting at a cafe table with a third eye. they
I
put her in
don't
the
remember
credits of the
that.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
obviously just a
remember that.
Funimation joke. It is literally just a joke. But I thought it was a funny tidbit, bro.
Yeah, I want to comment on what Yash said. Please let Tenshinhan be part of this show. Bro, we've been watching Dragon Ball on Twitch every Saturday and watching the 20. I think I'm cutting now. Can you hear me? Am I back?
You're back now. Yeah. Start again.
Okay. What I was saying was I love Tenshinhan, and I watching original Dragon Ball has made me love him again. And his peak was the 22nd tournament to the 23rd tournament. In Z, he only had a couple of big moments, the Cell thing, the thing with Boo, when he sacrificed himself. But he's a character I would love to know more about. So Nicholas Henry says, hey, Geekdom, I have a funny question. Is the Frieza clan and Namekians related? No, but if your question is, are the Frieza clan from the Demon Realm? They don't have pointy ears. So that would mean they're not. However, I wouldn't be surprised because, well, they're evil and you know, everybody seems to be from the Demon Realm now except the Saiyans. I don't know. I think we're going to find out more about the Saiyans later on. So I can't pronounce this person's name because it's in Arabic. We got moral name reference in Dragon Ball Daima in the second episode. I don't know if that's true. We haven't seen the second episode yet, but they removed blood from Vegeta's forehead in the episode. Interesting, the trailer was blood and now it's gone. Yeah, it's supposed to have blood. I don't know if that's the Fuji TV thing or not. I guess we'll find out.
I think that will have changed back when it was going to be a web anime, and then when it got broadcast rights, I think they probably had to go through and change that.
Okay. Yes, you're probably right here. Hold on. Dantavian, will Janemba be canon now because of Dragon Ball Daima? First of all, there is no canon, my brother. I'm going to do a video about this soon. You'll understand. Secondly, if you're asking about if they're going to bring Janemba into Daima, well, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but if you want to know, watch the leak video I did, the one with the blue thumbnail, that actually Kanji designed that thumbnail. I'm going to say that. He did design the thumbnail. And check out that video because there's an upcoming character that has not been revealed yet that looks a lot like Janemba. It's not the same thing, but it does look. You know who I'm talking about, Ray?
Yeah. I picked up on it.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Xavier says Dodoria has pointy ears. Well, I mean, that motherfucker looks like a demon, bro, with his damn. He's got pointy everything. He's got scales like all over his body. You know, he's a
bro can't sleep on an air mattress.
No, he can't, bro. He needs one of those posturopedic needle mattresses.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Kenji, or did that cut out?
I cut out, funnily enough.
Okay, it's okay. Dust Shinobi said, imagine we see the demon who killed before Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power arc. Am I back?
It was cutting out during that. You might need to start that one again.
I'm back though, right?
Yeah, you're back. I can hear you now.
We're going to end the stream probably in a few minutes because this is like, I can't really record or stream like this, even though I don't want to leave because I'm enjoying it. I don't want people to have like a bad experience. So again, coming in, I am not in my house. I'm at someone else's house. My house has no power. When I get power back, I'll go back in and start working again. In the meantime, I'm here. Dust Shinobi said, imagine we see the demon who killed Jiren's parents and his people. What do you think about that, the Kanji? Because this is before we even know who Jiren is. So how would they? The only way they would do it is if they just explain that Goku has no idea who he is. What do you think?
I don't think that we're likely to see anything like that because I think that it would be too far removed from the story progression that they're going to go in. I think that if this were to take place, you know, after the last arc of whether it be the Gas and Granola or whether it be set after Superhero or Broly, wherever it may be, I think if it was set around there, you got a better chance of it. I don't ever think we're really going to go down there. If I'm completely honest, I think it's because it probably isn't all that interesting. I think it is literally just as basic as it sounds. The most you may ever see about it is in, like, you may maybe 10 years from now, they'll do a OVA on Jiren and the Pride Troopers, and it may be at the beginning of that. Who knows? But I don't see it coming up at all in sort of general story because it's not related to anything. I think if they were going to do it, they would have done it in that flashback in Tournament of Power.
I think that they should have already done that OVA on Jiren a while ago. You know what I mean?
I think there was a lot of missed ones. I wanted one on the Ginyu Force. I want an OVA of the Ginyu Force. Show me Ginyu's original body.
Me too. Murray says, why are fans saying Dragon Ball Super is no longer part of the main continuity with Dragon Ball Daima existing now? Dude, people say a lot of shit. What have I said a million times? 99% of fans have no idea what canon is. And that's a fact. That's a fact. If you understand a Western idea, not an Eastern. Did you get any of that?
Yeah, it got all Robo Toriyama Toribot. I didn't get any of it, bro.
Did you get any of that?
Sadly not.
Okay, let me repeat it. So he's saying, why are fans saying that Dragon Ball Super is no longer part of the main continuity with Daima? Because most fans don't know shit about what's canon. They think they know, but they don't know shit because they don't understand how canon works. And because of one little contradiction that could be explained in Daima anyways later on, now all of a sudden, oh, it's a different continuity. Oh, super. Ignore them. Ignore them, dude. Why would Toriyama do that? It doesn't make any sense. Ignore them. Ignore them. Okay, am I still coming in good, Kanji?
Yeah, better than you were earlier now.
Okay, well, let's see if it stays that way. Galactic Spike says, is it just me or did outside of that castle in the Demon Realm at the beginning look a little like Naboo Royal Palace from Star Wars? Much love. What do you think about that? I didn't notice that. What do you think?
I didn't pick up on it, but now you've mentioned it, I can kind of see it, you know, yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, I saw the bit of a reference there with the room before they left the Demon Realm. So maybe Toriyama had been watching Star Wars with the family or something, and maybe it was something that popped into his mind. But until we see any concept art designs or something for the actual locations, it'll be harder for us to say because it's all in color. If maybe the colors washed out and we get to see some of the line art stuff, maybe it'll be a bit easier to see where the inspiration came from. Some of my things I always liked doing earlier on in the channel is I loved going through the concept art designs that Toriyama did. And I went through and I had a look and see which sort of things you could see were inspired by. For instance, in case anybody didn't know, it actually looked like King Kai at one point, Kai Osama, was going to live on a spinning top. And when that didn't happen, years later in the Tournament of Power, what did they fight on? They fought on a spinning top type of things. So, you know, a lot of these things, they do either get repurposed or we can see where the designs came from to begin with.
Yeah, and one thing I do hope they do is now that he's no longer with us, I hope we actually get a book, like an art book of like the art of Dragon Ball Daima, and it's all Toriyama sketches. That would be beautiful, man. Like another book just with the Daima stuff, and even maybe the leftover Super stuff that we never saw. Yeah,
I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Me too. I buy all of these art books, and they're awesome. Yeah. Victor, once again, he says Goku got the evil third eye artifact and got that power from it, and he is able to transform into Daima's version of SS4, like a primal demonic version of SS4. Well, I did a theory video with Heish, a werewolf bite Goku. Am I back? That wasn't bad, right? That skip.
It just cut out just as you started talking about the video you did.
Okay, I'll repeat what I said. I'm sorry. This is not my house. Again, I apologize. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. This is not my house. They don't have the fastest internet here. Just it is what it is. What I was saying was Heish and I did a video, and our theory was that the werewolf bites Goku, and then Goku looks at turns into Super Saiyan 4. That may or may not be true. That's just a theory. Just a theory, not a leak. So your theory is probably one of those, your guess is as good as mine. The evil third eye is going to make him turn into whatever version of Super Saiyan 4. And then that could be something where that form only works in the demon realm. Because if this is before Super, Goku cannot have Super Saiyan 4 outside of this show. He doesn't use it in Super or anything else. And I think that's another reason why people are like thinking, oh, well, this is not canon because they never mention any of these events. But how often do they talk about the past in Dragon Ball? Not all the time. And like I said before, if in the future we meet Demon Realm characters again, that may be a new story. So what do you think, Kanji, about his question about this whole confusion with Daima, man?
Yeah, just to start off with the confusion of the continuity and stuff, I think one of the reasons, the big reasons it's being talked about is just because of where the story is based. Because it just happens to take place just after that last arc of Dragon Ball Z, just before the tournament. And so I think that's why people are going, oh, this is another continuation. This is another canon. And it's just, it is what it is. I think people are going to choose to try and argue these things. But, Toriyama, he was a fan of GT. He liked what they did with GT. He never wanted to tread on their toes or anything with that. And that's why he's never gone over that time period again. And so I feel as though a lot of people wondering what sort of the new canon, quote unquote, is what people are worrying about. I think they just need to consider the fact Toriyama doesn't want to tread on any of the work that has been done post Z. But in regards to the question...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead,
you
bro.
finished
My
what
bad.
you were going to say. Oh, okay.
No, I forgot already. Go ahead.
So when it came to
forgot, I swear.
So when it came to the stuff to do with Super Saiyan 4, I think time will tell really based on how many references they pull in from GT. We're already going to see a few. Obviously, the big one being the fact they've been minified. But I think as far as the story goes into the future, we won't know how much they're going to try and pull from GT until we start seeing more hints of it. For now, it's anybody's guess. But I like your theory, dude. I liked your theory in the video as well.
Yes. All right, we'll see. And again, the internet, I know it's not, I keep getting super chats, and I'm not going to ignore those. So I guess we'll wrap up with these super chats here. And I'll get this question too. Jose Alvarado says, what up, Geekdom? Hope the hurricane recovery is going well. No, it's great, man. It's just I'm not at home yet because I have no power. He said, Daima episode 1 was some of the cleanest looking animation I've seen. Do you guys have an idea of what the other 2 wishes will be? I don't know if there will be 2 other wishes. But you know what? They're probably, that's a good question. What do you think they're going to be? Because he may make 2 more wishes. He may not, or maybe wish. What do you think, Kanji? That's a good question. It's a very, very good question.
I think that what the chances will be is because he restored the Dragon Balls, I effectively would think that he restored the Dragon Balls at part of their power for however long it had been since they'd been used. So if you imagine it sort of like a loading bar, if this is 3 wishes, maybe he restored it here. And so maybe there will be 1 wish and 1 slightly maybe not so good second wish, or maybe it's 2 wishes. Or maybe it's only 1 wish. But I think at the expense of having a joke, I think there will be 2 wishes. And I think the second wish will be something that that Never does out of his senility. So I have a feeling it will probably be something where it's like the first wish was what
like
they
he
asked
wishes for deodorant.
Yeah, or a fresh set of teeth or something like that, It'll be something silly because it's Toriyama. It's going to be a joke.
I hope so. Lone Wolf, thank you so much. He says, any chance of the about for Kai last chapter's vid in the near future? So he's talking about a video that I promised years ago that I haven't done. I apologize for that. It's the truth about Dragon Ball Kai, the final chapters, which is supposed to be an in-depth breakdown of the last chapters of Dragon Ball Kai. That is a video I've had on the back burner, and I'm going to make it. I just don't know when. I got a lot of content ahead of me, so I'm gonna make the video, and I'm sorry I haven't made it yet. Genuinely, I'm sorry. It's just, and I know I have had a lot of people surprisingly ask for that video, so I'll do it, man. It's just I'm not even at home right now. I don't even have access to Kai right now. I'm on a shitty laptop at my friend's house, a few blocks down the road. So
don't let him hear you.
I wish I could start on it. No, the laptop is shitty. The house is fine. Well, the internet's not that great, but that's because they have the router downstairs. And I don't know if you guys know, but if you have a 2-story house, have the router upstairs so that way it shoots down on the rest of the house. But yeah, I will
IT
get that video
background
done
coming
at
in.
some point. What?
There's your IT background
say?
coming in.
Yes, it's still there. Anon says, good to know you're well. Yes, thank you. I'm well, and we're still recovering down here in Florida from the big storm. So there you go. Caesar says, I want to get to this question here from Caesar. Yes, my friend has 3 kids. That's why I'm recording now, because they're all asleep. Second wish could be to get rid of the guardians of the 3 red Dragon Balls from Demonic Realm. No, because those guardians were put there by Neva himself. However, Kenji, should I tell them about the one fight coming up with the Tamagamis? Because there is a fight coming up.
Maybe a video.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say this. There's going to be a point in this show where the Tamagami is going to fight somebody who is not on the dragon team. The Tamagami is going to fight someone not on the dragon team, not on the good side. Remember what I said in July. Multiple factions in the demon realm. They all have their own selfish ambitions. They're all going to betray each other or work against other people. That's all I'm saying. But I don't want to ruin the whole show for everybody because some morons on Twitter seem to think that I'm going to ruin the entire show, which I'm not. But the reason why I even did a leak video is so that people that said that I lied about Super and that I have no sources can shampoo both of my nuts at the same time, bro. Because can you find another content creator who has gotten more shit right than me? How much shit did I tell you about the Broly movie before it came out? Oh, Frieza's going to want to be 5 feet taller. Yeah, lucky guess. Gogeta hits the Kamehameha and Broly gets wished away. Another lucky guess. It's just been one after another, and I'm a fraud. Get fucked. All right. I say that because I do have a chip on my shoulder. Lone Wolf says it's all good. I'm a new Dragon Ball fan. I've been binging your content and watched the first Kai vid and found it really interesting. Thank you. Well, thank you. Welcome to Dragon Ball. And I would like you to, I don't know if you're watching Dragon Ball because you say you're a new fan. Make sure you watch all of Dragon Ball in Japanese with subs. Also, get the Seed of Might version. If you want to learn more about the Seed of Might, those guys are going to plan. One of them is planning to be a guest on this show in the future. Again, I can't think too far into the future because I got a house to go back to. So,
and I'm going to chuck in a shameless plug here as well. And I'm going to say, if you enjoy your Dragon Ball, but there's not enough out there, go and have a look on my channel. It's one of the very, very, very stupid stories I've had AI write, and I've drawn silly pictures to go with it. They're very fun. I have a lot of fun doing them. And I take prompts from the audience and stuff too in the comment section to stick them in there. And it just seemed like a good opportunity to drop that cheap plug in there. So sorry.
No. Everybody check out Kanji Needs Coffee. He does a lot of videos about Dragon Ball, both art themed and not. Check out his channel, man. The dude really has an incredible talent. Like this guy, I'm not going to say he should have Toyotaro's job, but he probably should. Or I got a better idea. You do the drawing and I'll come up with the story.
There's an idea for a future series, bro.
There you go, bro. Our catchphrase will be "You drink, I drive." That'll be the catchphrase,
bro. Not after this week.
All right. Dantavian says, "Will humans get screen time in Daima?" Probably not, man. You're gonna see a lot of demons, yo. There's
maybe tension, huh?
Humanoid, maybe, but there's gonna be humanoid demons. But I don't think that we're going to see a lot of Earth. Most of Daima takes place in the demon realm. So Okay, let me get this question. Zunu Ramen, if I butcher your name, I'm sorry. Am I back?
Yeah. Just before you started saying the question.
All right. Faizunu Rama says, "Where's Mr. Senpai and why ain't he doing YouTube yet?" Great question. He told me he was coming back for Daima. We talked about it. I don't know where he is. He has a day job, so I don't know where he is. I wish I knew. Nicholas Henry says, "Hey, Geekdom, I wonder if Zalama is from the demon realm." Well, that's certainly a possibility. What do you think? I wouldn't be against that idea.
I think that because it's been left so open and the fact that nobody's come across it so far, I think there's a good chance that it probably will root back to the Demon Realm origins, simply because if it was going to be out there, other people would know. And obviously Lord Zuno knew of the origins of the Super Dragon Balls. So he has information because he knows everything. And so obviously there is the answer out there, but it's just not privy to the Namekians that we know in Universe 7. So I think there's a good chance that obviously we will find out that as well. But one thing I wanted to mention that was off the back of that as well was that we know obviously the Ardrats and all this kind of stuff that we've seen over the years. People were surprised in the Tournament of Power that there was a Sufurian and that there was a Yardrat member on Universe 2. And that there were Namekians in Universe 6 and there were Namekians in Universe 7.
But did he have pointy ears?
The Yardrat guy did. I think the Sufurian was wearing like a
there you go.
Some crap. So who knows what we're going to find of people that came from there.
I'm back, I think, right?
I got you back now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It is. I'm not at home, like I said. What do you think about Dr. Arintu? Because she says, could she have her own motives and play her own game with Goma and Degasu? Brother, I've been telling you this since July. Have I not said this since July that Goma, other people want to overthrow him? That's the whole thing about the show. That's the whole thing, that the demons are all like enemies. Okay. Any predictions or theories for episode 2 from Jamelius Wonderburger? I love your last name, bro. What do you think? The Kanji, about episode 2? What's your prediction? I do want to know.
My prediction for episode 2 will probably mostly be I don't know how much the pace is going to slow down, but my prediction will probably be that obviously we'll get the fallout from the Dragon Ball Wish. We most likely, like I was saying earlier, there'll probably be a jokey second wish. And then after that, we're just mostly going to see reactions of everybody coping with the fact they're kids before. We probably might get them scheming and asking where it all happened and why it's happened. And the Kaioshin will probably think, oh, well, let's go and find out something. But otherwise, I don't see there being much in the way of action. I just see it being a bit of a sort of let's get used to the characters as they are kind of story.
Yeah. Yeah, and also what I think, my prediction, this is not a spoiler, it's a prediction. Gloria will come to the mortal. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Gloria will come to the mortal realm and tell them what's going on. He will take them to the demon realm. Bulma will create another ship for them to go down there. But first, like you said, they have to look at their bodies and be like, what the hell happened? And then we go from there. So that makes sense. Now, I do want to get this question right here because I do have an answer. For it, but I'm using a trackpad and I hate it. I like mice better. All right. Oni64, will Dabura make an appearance? Dabura will be in Daima. You have my word. In fact, you may see Dabura when he was young. Remember what I said. Because listen, when it comes to inside information, I'm not 100%. But I'm sure as shit like 95. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like, there's nobody can deny that, bro. Kanji, how much stuff have I told you about this show that's come true without going into details?
Honestly, so far, everything you've told me has been true. I haven't seen a single thing fall out of it. And like I said, the only thing that drew me to draw any sort of there might have been a bit of a miscommunication there was with the name of the Namekian, and it looks like everybody else is saying it's never. So I guess it was me that got the Crunchyroll sub wrong. I could have sworn, but
no, it happens, bro.
You know. But what I wanted to say as well was, yeah. What I wanted to say was you mentioned Deborah. What was interesting was you got a mention of Deborah's father in that show as well, Abura. And so there's a missing word. There's a missing word in the middle, so that's either his mom or there's somebody else involved. So there's a car who needs to be there.
They're doing the same thing Pokemon did, bro. Abra and then Kadabra. That's the pun on Deborah. Deborah's name is not Deborah. That's English dub pronunciation. It's Dabura. Dabura. So it's Japanese. Real quick, Frieza-sama says, I love you, but I'm a Colts fan. I can't stand the Jaguars. I'm not a Jaguars fan either, bro. This is not my room. This is not my room. This is my friend's kid's room. I do not like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I do not like Tony Khan. He's a nice guy, fan of his booking. Although last night's show was good. Last night's show was good, bro. It was good. But yeah,
I had a feeling I knew as soon as you mentioned the Jaguars, we were hearing back Khan.
Because I'm looking back here and I'm like, oh, he's talking about this is not my room, dude. You've seen my room. I don't have power at my house. I'm staying with my friend. Yash says, anything about Piccolo Daima you can reveal. Nothing about Piccolo Daima yet. So, all right, we got a couple more super chats here that I was not expecting. Thanks for hanging on for a while, Kenji. I appreciate it, man. Ghost of Speedy says, which Dragon Ball character would join Nick Rekieta's polycule? Serious question. I don't know what that even means. I don't know what polycule means. Serious question. Who would best fit in the Law Pope's poly love den? What is this poly thing about, bro? Like, are you talking about like polyamorous relationships? I guess the one that would fit. I don't know what he's even talking about. I swear to God, I've never heard that term before. Polycule. Kenji, what does that mean?
Bro, I don't know. I'm not privy to the information, unfortunately. Sounds like it might be a fun prompt for an AI video going forward, but you know.
Yeah, actually, Ghost of Speedy, I want you to put that question into Chat GPT, because I promise you the answer is probably going to be very funny or very confusing, because I genuinely don't know what that means. I guess maybe he's asking which Dragon Ball character's whore, and I guess it would be Marin, right? I mean, she would be in a poly relationship.
I reckon
she would be finger
could as well.
cuffed, if you know what I mean. Yeah, especially after Bulma. Especially after the Bulma thing. Damian Orozco says, you know what? It'd be cool if your name was Oroko, like Oroko Saki, the Shredder. He says, Garlic Jr. sighting or comeback? I don't think so, but anything can happen. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I want to again apologize for the internet connection. Once again, I'm not home. I am at a friend's house. You know what my home looks like. This is not it. I have no power thanks to the storm. We should be getting power back by Thursday, but we'll see. With that being said, please make sure you check out World King Kanji's channel. Make sure you check that out. The link should be in the description. I will be back later this week with an Easter egg video about episode 1 that I have a buddy of mine editing. And I should be back with the review for next episode of Daima, no matter what. Hopefully, I'll be back at home because I can use fast internet and all my resources, my episodes. Things will be good. So, Kenji, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, you had 2 more super chats. One was a what if, and one was a did you check out Sparking Zero? And I just got to say, yeah, Sparking Zero, get to those last incredible.
Yeah, let's get to that. Yeah, I did play Sparking Zero. I actually played it all day Tuesday and Monday. I was going to stream it. I love the way it looks. I love the Easter eggs. I have not the story mode yet because guess what? It's on PC and it's at home. So, and this laptop, this piece of shit, sure as shit ain't gonna fucking play Sparking Zero. My fucking computer at home, my GTX, this shit can't even, bro. Kenji, my Daima review took like 10 minutes to export on this piece of shit. And my home computer would have been one picture.
I had to buy a fan to go on the outside of my PlayStation because Sparking Zero is making it run so hot. It's a PS5 and it can't run a PS5 game. So, you know, I'm not surprised.
I heard everything you said, by the way. I know I cut out, but I heard everything you said. So, yes, this kid has a PS5 right here. Like literally right here, there's a PS5 and an Xbox. I don't know why he has both, but he's got clothes on top of the Xbox. I'm like, bro, this shit's going to overheat. Robert Wolf says, Frieza with the Infinity Gauntlet that works in the DB Multiverse versus Zeno. I don't know. I think the Infinity Gauntlet. What do you think, Kenji?
I don't know enough.
Zeno's not immortal.
No, Zeno's not immortal. And also, I don't think he's got much combat awareness as well. So, you know, I know obviously the Infinity Gauntlet, it would only realistically take a finger snap, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that probably Frieza.
Me too. So what are your final thoughts before we close out today?
I got to say, I'm really have high hopes for the future of Daima. I think that first episode was a really strong showing, especially in terms of the aesthetics. I'm really excited for the future. I love the fact that we just got lore dump after lore dump after lore dump in this episode, and that was the first episode. And it's just so nice that one of the final projects, if not the penultimate or the ultimate final project of Toriyama, had so much extra lore that he's left us with before he's gone. It's a really nice parting gift, because it's just something that's going to keep us going for so long. And so, you know, those sort of things are priceless, and it's just really heartwarming and wholesome to keep watching this stuff. And I'm sure it's just going to get better and better. And once those fights start in that animation style, it's going to be incredible.
And remember, there's a Dragon Ball Super movie on the horizon, heavily rumored. Last thing here, A.A. Cynic said, have we seen all the villains in Daima? And if we haven't, what can you say that won't spoil anything? We have not even come close, brother. If you want to know, the leak video is up that will go into villains that have not been revealed yet, but there are plenty left. There are plenty left. We also have another dragon from the demon realm, and I know what he looks like. And it's in that leak video because I explain it. So that leak video went through a lot of stuff. And again, if you want to know, there you go. But if you want the quick answer, we are not done. There are more villains to come. Remember, Dr. Arinsu is a scientist and a magician, like Toa. And as Thor told us, science and magic combined is a dangerous combination. So what are your final thoughts, Kenji, man? Oh, you already gave them.
I got some more. I can fish out somewhere, bro. But what are your final thoughts going into the next episode?
I agree with everything you said. I'm excited for Daima. I really am. I don't know if I'm gonna like it more than Super, but I think it got off to a stronger start. The Battle of God, the Resurrection F arcs. Yeah, the movie retellings, bro, were completely useless. I hope if and when Super comes back, I want it to look like Daima, and I don't want them to redo Broly unless they have the 3-hour Toriyama script. Take the Broly movie, cut it up into 3 episodes or 4 episodes, then go right into Moro. I do not want them to redo it with this animation style, though. I'll take this style with Nakatsuru and Kubota. All the gods are on this show, the great animation gods, so I look forward to it. Everybody, please check out Kenji's channel. Thank you for putting up with my shit today and our bad connection. Take care of yourself and your families and your loved ones. And remember, fuck the internet. In real life, we all have to be kind to each other. Be kind online too. But in real life, people are a lot more kind. Anyways, I love you for your support. It means a lot. Pray that I get my power back so I can give you more videos because I got a lot of ideas in my head over that. Just that first episode gave me so many ideas. Take care. We're out. And I'm going to close it now.